will be furious with himself because it was all self-inflicted. He allowed all those tactics to happen. He allowed the momentum to drift against him, and he made the blunder at the end. So he knows that he only has himself to blame, but 3 games left today. He still has enough time, for sure, to fight back. And, okay, early days, Vladislav Artemiev, he does tend to dodge the main lines, to dodge anything too direct in the opening, especially with white. And by developing with the Reti kind of English opening setup, he's very flexible.
You know, the hard part is the emotions in chess right now. A lot of times you have to say, not even in chess, in life, like lots of times your emotions can affect what you do. So if you are angry here and you're just mad and you want to try to swing at him, and of course, Artemiev is unfazed. I mean, he has the same facial expression all the time. You don't see anything. He's losing, he looked the same. You know, he wakes up, he looks the same. Hey, how you doing? He looked the same, right? Always the same. So, of course, he doesn't have, the emotions don't affect him really much at all. So hopefully Magnus is able to do that and get it together here and be able to try to strike back in this game.
And we know at the highest level, a draw is the most common result.
Right.
So if you're Magnus Carlsen right now, you don't want to just go all out for a win. It's okay to draw with black.
Right.
He gets white in game 3. He did lose the first game of the match with the white pieces, but you do have that first move advantage. He'll have to choose a different opening because I didn't really like what we saw from him there. He didn't gain the upper hand. But for Magnus, you can't go all in this early. I know he was just playing poker, but you gotta relax him.
Yeah, I hear you guys, but I have to say, I mean, the setup that Magnus has taken, just so flexible with that fianchetto. You know, he's not moved any of the central pawns yet. I think it does show that he's in for a long game. With the black pieces, he's not really looking to go into some long battles. He just wants a position to play.
Yeah, against most opponents, Magnus can get away with trading loads of pieces off, heading into an endgame, but against Vladislav Artemiev, I don't think that's the recipe for success. Artemiev does have great endgame stats. I've seen him outplay the best players in the world in endgames, so Magnus can't go that route. Meanwhile, he's kept all the pieces on the board. It's unlikely we will see too many trades this early in the game. We see the pawns kind of not facing off against each other anytime soon. There won't be open lines, open diagonals, but Artemiev also choosing the flexible approach, and we're going to see a double fianchetto from both sides. Both sides putting all of their bishops on the long diagonals, and the tension will be postponed to the middle game.
Digging at Chessable here, I mean, this is actually straight from the Chessable course. The one that it is the Grunfeld Part 2, in fact, from Peter Fiedler. He actually recommends the double fianchetto versus the double fianchetto. Like, that's exactly what he likes to do. Now, of course, in this situation here, Black's actually plans are C5 and play D5 right after. Now, of course, Magnus being a part of Chessable, you remember his face was on the Chessable screen many times for the people that are Chessable users, and you see Magnus up there when you created an account. Definitely, Magnus is a big fan of Chessable, has his own courses there too as well. But these lines are very, very good.
busted for Artemiev.
You're totally right, Tanya. Just don't even think here if you're Magnus Carlsen. Drop that black rook onto the white first rank, and white is paralyzed.
Yeah.
White just can barely move.
You can't even trade rooks. Rook c2 is impossible. You can't come back with a rook to d1, and rook on c1 will be an absolute monster. What is Magnus thinking? What's the alternative? Well, there are actually so many good moves in this position.
That's the problem for Magnus. That's the problem for Magnus.
Yeah.
But when in doubt, pin and win. Just drop that black rook down to c1, and that should be game over soon. First, he attacks the white rook. I don't think this changes anything. He's maybe just testing Artemiev. He's saying, okay, you have 9 seconds. I'm going to flick in a little threat. Did you see it?
He might push the pawn, right? So he just attacked the rook, you push the pawn, the dark square bishop will come across the board as well, into the c3 square, hitting the rook and the knight. Notice they're on the same diagonal there as well. I think Magnus is playing this perfectly. I mean, bishop takes f6, that was a head scratcher, but since then, Magnus makes it look easy. It wasn't as simple as it appeared, and he's just bringing all of his pieces into the party, and it's a party for one. Artemiev not invited.
Love it, Robert. And, okay, he's still struggling on. He's limping on in this game, Artemiev. Okay, he's at least broken the pin. He's trying to trade off a set of pieces. Remember, that does guide you towards safety if you're struggling, especially if you can get a set of bishops off. The remaining bishop will lose power, but Magnus, of course, won't trade unless it really suits him. He's looking to cash in on some material, and that might well happen soon. It feels like self-destruct mode from Magnus in the first game, and then Artemiev in this one.
And that was that moment of trading that bishop on f6. That was a shocking decision, even if it was the clock that made him do it. It makes no sense at all.
Yeah, it goes against the principles, right?
Yeah, absolutely, of course. Yeah, you want to stay principled here, and he did not. He could have made any move, maybe h3, just make a quick move, just to get some time on the clock here. But this is busted, game over, start a new one, right? He's going to have to just reset and try to come back into the next game, because Magnus is going to win this one.
Can he actually go d3 here? Can he start pushing the d pawn, David?
Tough to say.
Yes, Tanya.
Yes.
I think that's one of multiple winning moves here. The black light square bishop can also drop back, hit that white rook in the center, but you're wrong.
What?
You're right, you called it. And this looks like it's walking into trouble, this move.
Bishop c3?
Yeah, the 2 white rooks are both on dark squares. Black has a dark square bishop. There must be a knockout blow right now.
I'm not sure which diagonal to use. I can attack both your rooks. I can attack your rook from every angle that I want. That's what happens when you give up a dark square bishop. He goes straight into d4. He's attacking the rook on e3. He's trying to kick it away from this passed pawn on d3. If the rook slides over, then knight loses defender. If the rook goes up the board, then the problem is the d3 pawn is safe and sound, and that black bishop will likely go into c3 next. I feel like white is about to lose material and the game, and Magnus is going to be right back in this match, not up 1-1.
And you're right, Robert. Actually, Vladislav didn't even struggle on. He resigned.
He hit the resi button. He hit the button.
Yeah, we're tied 1-1. Magnus